Okay guys, today we're working on the TD5 Defender. We've got a lift kit from Old Man Emu. This is all of their springs, all of their shocks, and then their steering stabilizer. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on this one. So if you guys can tell, this one has a little bit of the old man stance, where the front coil, well, all of the coils have probably sagged, but the front coils have sagged more. So I'll measure real quick and see how far we're sitting down up here. We've got the Old Man Emu kit here that we got from Lucky 8. So thanks to Eric for getting this sent out to us pretty quickly. But we're gonna go ahead and get measurements taken on this to see how much it has sagged. And then when we get this in here, we'll throw the new measurements on. Once we've got the lift on it, we're going to compare tire sizes and see, this is my dad's truck. So he's talking about going to either the 33s or 35s. But first he wants to see how hard it's going to be to get into it once he has those tires on. So we'll go ahead and get started on it. All right, so to the wheel wells here. We are 36 inches on the back. Front driver is 34 inches, so it's down 2 inches up front. 34 inches on the passenger side. And 36 inches on the rear passenger. And these are, what are these? Cooper Discoverer All-Terrain. I can't see on this side what size they are. Let's go over here. 265, 75, 16s. I will do the math and see what size those are supposed to be, but they look like right at 31 inches. So we'll see once we've got this swapped out how much lift we get out of it. This is supposed to be an 1.5-inch lift kit from Old Man Emu, but I suspect as much as this is sagged, we're probably gonna get more like 2.5 inches out of it. So we'll see what it looks like once we've got the lift in here. Okay, so we've got the whole kit here that we got from Eric over at Lucky 8. Now when I talked to Eric, he did say that his favorite combination was these Old Man Emu springs with the Fox shocks, but that was the difference of about 150 bucks, and everybody talks about the Old Man Emu, so we wanted to give these a try first. But these are these medium rears and light fronts, or what do we get?
Medium rear. No, they're all medium.
Okay, so these are medium coils. I think the shocks are all the same, but the front and the back are the medium coils. Now, I don't know what the weight difference is, but if you go on to lucky8.com, I know they had it in the description. Basically, if you're running a roof rack with a lot of weight on it all the time, then you need the heavy rears. We went with the medium fronts because he is going to throw a winch on this eventually, so you've got some added weight up front that'll make it handle that better and not sag all the time. But I think for what he's going to use it for, which is mostly daily driving, towing his boat, and every now and then off-road and overland trips, the medium front rear is going to be better.
Okay, so we're going to take the shocks loose. We got the rear axle lifted up a little bit so that there's no tension on the shocks. We can take the shocks loose without it springing down and catching us. I think it's a 21 millimeter on the top, and the bottom looks like it's maybe a 21 millimeter, maybe a 19 millimeter. I'm going to take the bottom off. We'll let the axle settle down a little bit, take the top one off, and then see if we can get these springs out of it pry after I go.
All right, so I'm taking the spring keepers loose. This was an 18 millimeter, which seems strange, but it has a welded square nut on the bottom of it below here. And I don't think we got new hardware for this. Those are M10s, I don't think. Okay, the passenger side is a 17 millimeter, so the hardware has been replaced over there. This side I think is going to be a little more difficult to get out. All right, now I'm just going to kind of let the axle down here so we can get the springs out. as you're doing this, make sure you keep an eye on your brake line to make sure you're not getting anything tight that you don't want to. And if you have an ABS or if you're working on a disco or something like that, you probably got more wires there to worry about too.
I love things consistently.
Nope. All right, so you can see we've got this little spring keeper in the bottom here. I kind of got the other side lined up a little wrong. I had to get it started and then twist it around, but this actually came off easier than I expected it to. We just kind of had, I don't know if you guys saw, we kind of had to step on a strap to pull these down enough to throw this in here. If you guys can't get that done, you could pretty easily just throw a bottle jack here and brace it on the bump stop there and get it pulled down enough. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the shocks on now.
Close enough.
This one is a 19 millimeter. Okay, so onto the fronts. If you guys can see, these shocks are a little bit different. Actually, I'm going to show you on the ones over here. So on the rears, we had a ring here and a cross bolt. On the fronts, we have a spike on both ends. So inside this shock tower is the rod, and it comes up here, and there's a nut on the top of here, and then there's a nut underneath the retainer plate here. So I'm supposed to get that from the top, but I kind of think I can sneak a wrench in there and get that one loose. So I'm going to try and do this without having to bring the lift back down and work in the engine bay, but we'll see how that goes. So we had to sit it down to take the these plastic shock tower caps off. We had one, I don't know, some EGR module or something like that here, 2 10 millimeters, and it came off. And then about every number 2 Phillips head that we had to get all of these screws out of it. And then over here we had to take off the air inlet pipe going into the turbo to get this one loose. And it's pretty tight against both the turbo and that washer bottle. So again, we had to have a stubby and like one of these 90-degree Phillips and stuff to get it loose. So these are pretty grody on top, so I'm gonna let these things sit with some penetrating oil for a little bit. Hopefully we can get it broken loose. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna have to take the shock towers out. The hardware on these shock towers is in better shape than most of them are, so I think we'll be okay, but if not, I've got a set of disco shock towers we can throw in it to get by for a little bit. Okay, so my strap wrench keeps slipping, so we've got a pipe wrench on the old shock. This 19 millimeter in the middle that I'm taking out. The shock tower's loose. We can take the shock tower out with the shock through the engine bay. And then take the keeper off of the coil here. Well, I don't think that actually has to come out, but we're taking them out just to clean them up. Take the base plate there loose, pull it down, and then that shock tower retainer there will come free with it too. Had to cut the top nut off of the shocks, so we'll see how that comes out. Okay, so you guys can see on these coils, one of them is just a little bit taller than the other, so one of them is marked A, one of them is marked B. The A is going to go on the driver's side, the B is going to go on the passenger side. The idea is just to correct any level from having more weight on the driver's side when it's running. We had to steal a shock tower keeper off of the disco, and we had to take the shock towers out with it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get the shocks installed into the shock towers, throw these coils in, and then we will set the truck down and just drop the whole shock tower assembly with the shock in it. If you guys don't want to try taking those towers off because yours are too rusted, what you can do is, if you've got the axle drop down like we do, drop it as far as you can before you get into your brakes. Stick your coils in, and you can kind of pull the coils out, slip the shock up inside it, and then get it installed that way. It's more of a pain that way, but if you're worried about breaking off bolts like we did on your shock towers, then you don't have to worry about that doing it that way. Okay, so we went ahead and got this installed in the shock tower. Now I can just drop this down from the top of the truck and into the coil and then bolt it on at the bottom. There we go. Okay, shock towers are in with the shocks in them, so now we're just going to run these jacks up to lift the axle up to the bottom of the shocks here, put the nut on the bottom of it, and we should be done with this part of it. All right, last thing for this, we got to throw the steering stabilizer on up front. It's just one bolt through here. We went and got new hardware because it didn't come with that. One bolt through there, and then we've got new bushes for this end. Well, it turns out that this truck already had a 1.5-inch lift on it. So what probably has happened is somebody put a cheap 1.5-inch lift on it. They put it on, put a lot of miles on it, or even just sitting still, it might have sagged. The front sagged, the rear came up about 1 inch, the front came up about 2.5 inches on the driver's side, about 2 inches on the passenger side. So since we didn't get quite as much as we were thinking, he went with, what are these, 295 75 16s. I think they came up to about 33 inches or so. I'll do the math and make sure that I'm telling you guys right on that. But it looks like he's going to have some rubbing problems, but these arches are going to come off. He's going to put some extended wheel arches on there to keep the stones from hitting his window and stuff, because he does need to get maybe about a 25 or a 30 millimeter spacer so that his steering is okay, because he's hitting the locks or hitting the frame pretty quick now, and if we adjust it out that far, it's really going to hurt his turning radius. So that looks pretty good. We're pretty happy with it. It drives way smoother. We took it down some rough kind of potholed gravel roads and stuff that would normally beat you to death in it, and it's doing a lot better. So I think that is going to be all that we've got for you guys this week. Thanks, guys.